The individual doing this is not psychotic. They have their wits about them, but they have a pathological need for attention.
(2013), Australia. On the famous Sunshine Coast, Lindy Williams is missing only one thing: a man.
So, how was the date the other night? Horrible. Oh, no! Come on. Oh, it was dreadful. Really. Why?
Lindy always needed a man in her life. She was always looking for the next man.
Who is that?
She was someone who I think was still quite vain and had a lot of friends and was a bit of a socialite.
Oh, like you don't know. You haven't met George Jerby.
George was retired. He was previously in real estate and had done well for himself.
He's a little bit older than she is. He's a big figure in the community. He's into local politics, has a great personality. Everybody liked him.
Lindy Williams.
George Jerby. Going in?
Thinking about it?
Oh, the water's beautiful.
The connection is instant.
I was just going to grab a coffee over there.
That'd be lovely.
Cool.
Okay.
Why don't you come over here?
George and Lindy are soon inseparable. Their shared passion is politics.
Lindy, George, hi!
Hi.
People describe them as being very much in love.
He looked after her. Some people say he doted on her.
Look at you two lovebirds.
Thanks.
The couple can see a future together.
Oh, that suits you.
Don't tell anyone, but where did it go?
Congratulations!
Getting married in Vegas, baby.
Oh my God! When's the date?
Soon.
It's so exciting. This calls for champagne. Come on.
All right.
But after Las Vegas, only Lindy returns to Australia.
Welcome home. Thank you. Oh, to be back. Where's George? Oh, he's in Rio having some alone time.
George's absence immediately after their honeymoon is a little strange. But he keeps in touch.
There was an email sent to the soccer club saying that he resigned as president. So his association with the soccer club had finished. There had been payments made to the taxation office in his name. Vehicles had been re-registered. Accounts bills paid.
But it's all a lie. George isn't really in Rio. He never even made it to Vegas.
She's creating this illusion that George is still alive when in fact, she has chopped him up.
In 2013, on Australia's Sunshine Coast, there's trouble in paradise. Friends of 66-year-old George Jerby think he's in Rio because his 55-year-old fiancée, Lindy Williams, is covering up a murder.
It's one thing to commit a murder, but it's another thing to create this fantasy about where your partner has gone.
By September 2013, she decided to end the engagement.
The individual doing this is not psychotic. They have their wits about them.
Us.
To us. And Vegas, baby. Now, have a seat. Check it out. We'll go lie down. Just for a minute.
Yeah.
I'll be right, babe. Oh, see you soon.
She went to a hardware store and bought an electrical saw.
She dismembered George's body.
The hands had been severed just below the wrists. The neck had been severed, and the base of the rib cage was where the spine had been severed.
You could say she didn't want him to be identified, but you also could say that she just hated him a lot, and that's what she wanted to do.
Lindy drives 50 miles north with George's torso.
Not surprisingly, Lindy didn't do a very good job of getting rid of the body parts.
Where it was quite residential. It was rural, but there were quite a few properties around, and there were several people who said they stopped on the side of the road.
Yes, I'd like to report a grass fire.
Fire service discovered what they believed to be human remains, the upper torso of a person. We established that it was a male over 55.
What cracked it was this combination of prescription medication that he had in his system.
We were able to do a toxicology examination that listed out a number of pharmaceuticals.
The burned torso contains 4 prescription medications. Now the police start a painstaking search for every Australian male over 55 prescribed those drugs who has not collected them.
You know, this is door 200. Should have baked a cake.
It was lengthy. The Queensland results were in the vicinity of 700 people. A lot of legwork than just traditional policing.
Detective Cable and Long, we're looking for Alan Robert Pearce. We want to identify him.
And going to visit these people to verify if they're alive.
No, he's not here. He moved to Bali.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
They went door to door until they finally had it whittled down to a very small number of people.
200 down, 500 to go.
It was fabulous police work.
One name on the list proves elusive. On their first visit, investigators are told he's overseas.
We were able to check that by travel records.
What they find brings them back to the home of George Jerbick and Lindy Williams.
Hello, Miss Williams. Nice to see you again.
As I told you before, George is overseas.
You did say that, but it's not true, is it?
I think she believed that this day would always come. It's just a matter of when.
What are you talking about? George is in Rio.
She told them that he was out of the country.
George Jerbick hasn't left the country once in the last 4 years. May we come in?
He hadn't been out of the country since 2008. So she was in a bit of trouble now. Lindy is not only now wearing an engagement ring she bought with George's money, she's wearing handcuffs.
Under interrogation, Lindy concocts an implausible story. How she found a body in her bathtub.
We know you killed him.
I would never kill George.
Oh, I just turned up and someone had dismembered a body in my bathroom. Like, who thinks that somebody actually will believe that story?
This woman actually thought people would believe that.
It just was bewildering.
Lindy never confesses, nor reveals where she hid the rest of George's remains.
I thought he was my knight in shining armor.
To this day, she denies everything.
I miss him to pieces.
Just haven't been able to clearly establish what her motive was.
You miss him to pieces.
I don't think that she was a battered woman, or I don't think that she wanted to benefit. I think she just got a bit sick of her life, wanted something new.
In 2018, Lindy Williams is convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison with a non-parole period of 20 years.
The police did great work in that investigation.
I was always hopeful in this matter, but it was also in the back of my mind whether it was going to be something that was solvable.
Lindy Williams almost got away with the murder of a good man who gave her love and attention. But it still wasn't enough.
Lindy's need to be the center of attention will probably die about 1 hour after she does.
These deadly women untied their wedding knots. Jane Carpenter wanted fun more than her husband. Emma Ledoux threw away unwanted men. And Lindy Williams's greed took a loving man's life. They all pledged till death do us part. It was a vow to kill.